Good evening. Welcome to Siddha-Vetha webinar series. Today we have Shreenithaa Sankaranarayanan. She is giving a talk on looking through ancient eyes to see the modern world. It's all about Siddha ophthalmology. She is currently in the 11th grade and lives in California. She has been roaming around trying to find what makes her feel connected to the people and world around her, all while trying to find what makes her happy and passionate. She has been fond of helping people, and especially alternative medicine. After landing upon Siddha-Vetha projects, she found that she could squeeze into her junior year schedule and have fun while she worked. She has been recently become a master in the Sky Yoga system. It's a very young, at a very young age. It was a great experience both as a teacher and a student. She hopes to learn more about cure as well as others through self-service and self-availability. Currently, her family is living a natural life, utilizing artificial resources only when absolutely unavoidable. It's great to be able to see and experience both sides of the world and narrow down to who she wants to become in the future. All she knows is that she wants to help others, prevent sickness and disease through alternative medicine. Being a research assistant at Siddha-Vetha, she hopes to help more out with Siddha-Vetha project so that more people find their own path into natural medicine to help themselves. So I welcome Shadana, the young scientist, to give a talk right now.
Thank you, Uncle. Hello, everyone. Hi, my name is Sri Sankaranarayanan, and today we're going to look through ancient eyes to see the modern world. So it has become a relevant topic among us now because, as you meet more and more people, you can see that more and more people have eyesight problems, or they're getting surgery for it, or they're just wearing a lot of glasses now. You can even see young children wearing glasses. And how can that be? It's because many people, most of the people here, use it for their job, to socialize, or just for simple entertainment. For instance, you just have an entire days of work, and then you come back home, and then you just decide that because you have done all that work, you just decide to take a little bit of a break, so you go on the TV. And now that is in addition to socializing. For instance, if you're far away from your parents, your daughters, just someone really close, then you might be going on Skype or Zoom here itself to communicate with them or learn something new. And as a job, for many people, either they're a software engineer or they just have to go on the laptop to update themselves. And that, all of them added together, is what we have come to now in the modern world. So the main objective today is to utilize meridian points or marma points specifically associated with the eye to see whether swift improvised vision can be observed. So these meridian or marma points, in particular Burma points, originated from the Siddha system, and it arose from Kumarinadu, or the Lemuria continent. And this was revealed by two Siddhas, Agastya and Boger, also known as sage scientists. And they were both from China, who through meditation, they learned how to like bring out like meridian points and use acupuncture in order to relieve diseases. One of Agastya's students wrote Tolkappiyam in the 5th century CE, and Tirumula wrote Tirumandiram in the 3rd century CE. These all are like mere evidences that you can see that these are all how to utilize meridian points to help ourselves. So in detail going into Agastya, he has truly pioneered Vermicelli, and his contributions include Agatiranyana, Nadi Sastram, Vaidya Sindhamani, Centuram 300, and etc. You can just keep going on. So we might have heard about these, but are they true or not? Because many of the times we just hear that it's from China, or we just might like guess that it's just from word of ear, but there is evidence. For instance, there was a copper plate dated 857 to 885 AD in Parthipasekarapuram, Kanyakumari district. Even more, King Kokarandagaran in 685 to 885 AD established a Salai, or a boarding school, with 95 Vedic students known as Sattars. A university also was built along with a temple at Kanyakumari district to train students on Vermicelli, also known as meridian and acupuncture, defensive art, and other traditional arts. As you can see on the slide here, there are like multiple surgical tools that were discovered by archaeologists in the ancient times. So many of us, whenever we associate traditional medicine, we most likely think of China, but due to this, we can tell that it originated from India. But how did it go from India to China? So during the Tang Dynasty, from 618 to 913 AD, trade in the 18th century between two countries was in the peak. Buddhist and Jain monks traveled to other countries as ambassadors of Indian science and technology. Including Boger, a Buddhist monk, he learned Vermicelli from Palani in Tamil Nadu. Bodhidharma from 497 to 543 AD, I think his name might be pretty familiar with you. He's from the movie Ela Marivu, who was played by the actor Surya. He's a Buddhist monk from Kanchipuram who used the land route to reach China and teach the Vermicelli, now known as Shaolin Kung Fu. For evidence, you could see that Bodhidharma's picture is in the walls of Shaolin Temple, and he also authored Mahaparinirvana Stutiram. And Buddhists and Jains practice Siddha medicine integrated with their religion. So we can see that many meridian points and marma points, even though they're all like different names and like parts of different religions, they're all interrelated, because they all started in one religion, and as they separated, they became divisions. And some of the contributions from the Buddhists and Jains include Trikadugam, Elati, and Chirupanchamulam. So we can see that there's like the origin, as in like where it started, is pretty impressive. But how was this brought up? As like the origin of the ideology of the marma points. So let's get to the definitions as of right now. So what are marma points? Well, marma points are technically meridian points and verma points. So verma points are the original name, and then the words marma points and meridian points are just alternatives. So sometimes there can be confusion between the word acupuncture and the word meridian points. Meridian points are the locations in which you apply the pressure, and acupuncture is a usage of needles or hands in order to relieve that pressure. And meridian points are important points where there is key flow, or airflow, water flow, and heat flow. So there are different divisions in Verma points. So there's touch Verma, eyesight Verma, thought Verma, Padu Verma, and these can all be done through induction as well. So in the ancient Indian ancient theory, we can say that, for instance, take a drainage pipe or a sewage pipeline. Take the United States, for example. The lines just ran for like miles and miles and miles. If there's a block in Wisconsin, we cannot just go in between California and New York. We're going to have middle points so that we don't have to suck everything out for a pretty long time. And that is how meridian points are similar to this. For instance, with little holes in between, people can go inside and fix the problem so that other parts are not affected while helping important flow in that one particular plot where there's a clot. Similar to this is our body. If there's a clot in our body, that is what the old yogis and siddhas believed to be the main cause or the only cause for diseases and pain and swelling, and what we have diverged into multiple symptoms and everything. So at the bottom, we can see the Verma points. So the Verma points do not have to be small or large. And the next, we can see a better picture. So there are 3 types of flow that happen in each type of nadi. A nadi is particularly a tube that withholds the type of flow. And so far there's air, fire, and water flow, and whenever there is one blocked, it turns into a disease. And air, fire, and water act as the part of the 5 elements, and biomagnetism is one of the others, and then nadis acts as like the earth or the skin. So back to the research. So we're going to be comparing from modern view to ancient view. The modern view of the eye is that like eyes are seen as seen as models of lens. So it is believed that there are approximately 40 to 50 eye diseases with some interwoven symptoms and overlapses. For examples, we can see inflammation, being legally blind, as in like your power is too high or too low, and fibrosis. From the ancient view, yogis and siddhas believe that there were about approximately 100 of eye diseases. So based on femtoneuron biology, there are 4,000 tiny tubes, as in nadis, as had been explained previously, that regulate air, heat, liquid, or water circulation. Meridian points, or Verma/Murma points, are pressurized to remove clots, which mostly are the reasons for most of it, if not all, diseases. So this is a modern view of the eye with its cornea, pupil, lens, cones, and rods. It's technically just like the physical ways of looking at it. And this is the ancient way, as in like connecting every particular part to something that might affect us. For instance, the eyes are connected to like connections to emotion, functional group, and yeah. So the function of the eye. The main function of the eye, from what most people conceive to be, is that so you see a light in front of you, and without light there is no image at all. So you need light to form a picture with objects around, and the eye perceives it. The light goes inside our pupil, which is turned upside down and is received by the rods and cones to detect whether it's with color or black and white, and which goes through the afferent nervous system, which is a type of nerve in the body, and goes to the brain to be processed, and comes back through the efferent nervous system, similar to the afferent nervous system, but this is the sensory part. This is the motor part, and then comes back to your eye as a sight. For instance, you're just looking at this slide right now, and this is all happening within nanoseconds. So to test our theory, the method that we used was that a set of people were asked to follow the exercises that focused on placing pressure on a few marma points, not exactly 6, around the eye with precise measurements accustomed to each individual. For instance, a particular measurement is not for every single person, so it's all based on your body, so you don't need any rulers or anything. And after the pressures on each point are applied, the people take an eye test and see the difference before and after the experiment. So for instance, one of the eye reading boards where you just read the letters, and a few more tests, I guess. So we would take a test of that before they start the exercises and teach them the exercise, and then take the data. And then the data was collected. As from here, you could see that this is just a sample of what we had gotten. So far, there's like 11. And the age does not actually matter. So this can be done for anyone. So as data number 1 says, most of the people, 3 out of 8 people, had their glasses removed immediately after they had done their exercises. That is pretty remarkable, considering that patient number 2 had his or her eyesight to be -5. To go to 0 immediately is pretty impressive. And data number 2 states that the majority of the people, from the time they took the class to like currently now, majority of them have just immediately stopped wearing glasses or just have taken them off. From the bottom, we can see a disclaimer that some people do not improve their eyesight, or like it just stays the same, or it's just slowly decreased because they haven't been doing it constantly, as in it's a requirement to do it constantly, or they just haven't been putting the full effort, as in like doing it with much care. Take a job, for instance. If you don't do it with much care or constantly, you won't be able to get the full outcome. If you don't do it constantly, the income won't be proper enough to support your family. And if you don't do it with proper, you might as well just get fired. And data number 3. So as in from the table before, we can see that it does not matter how long you've been wearing glasses. All that matters is that like the efficiency, as in how long you do the exercises are for. This is only based on for people only because there are like only 11 from the example of patients. And data number 4 shows how long they have been wearing glasses compared to how long it took them to get rid of the glasses. We can tell that the data doesn't really matter as long as you do it with proper care. So no matter what, taking off your glasses will take a short amount of time, but it's all in your hands. Take for patient number 4, it takes far less time to take off their glasses than for how long they've been wearing glasses. That would be a great relief. And the analysis that we can get from this entire objective and experimentation is that the age or the length of the glasses being worn does not matter in the improvement of the eyes. Only efficiency and constant practices provide maximum results. Although the practice provides a rate of 72% of people removing glasses immediately or over a period of time, it takes time and practice for full benefits. The eyesight might increase or decrease due to excessive straining of eyes on electronic devices. So as you can see from the percentage, it is 22% higher than the average people, or like 50%. Therefore, it is far more, and it is recommended. And at the bottom, it's a really important point that like the amount of time that you spend on electronics also matters. Because even though your eyesight might be the same, you watching more and more and more electronics will only strain it even more and more. Therefore, you'll need more exercises or just more concentration and more efficiency. How I would like to conclude is, or how I would like to make an entire conclusion from the experiment that we've done, is that the meridian points are beneficial to the eyes in improving sight with a 72% chance of removing glasses. And this is only for removing glasses, not for like better eyesight. Better eyesight is most likely 100%. And it may be a period of time, depends on the efficiency of exercises being done. Murmur points might improve eyesight slightly if a person is not conscious of the amount of time spent on devices. These points absolutely are beneficial to the eyes and might possibly cure disastrous eye diseases. There are a lot of people now who have like multiple eye problems and having cancers in their eyes, and just like you can just stay on and on and on. If you take precautions from the beginning, or just like if you're just starting to notice that something's just going on, it's better to just be protective of yourself. It's better to be safe than sorry. And so Sage Thurmuller has defined medicine in like quite unique ways. So the definition of medicine is to cure physical ailment. And it is one that cures psychological ailment. And it is one that prevents diseases. And it is one that bestows immortality or deathlessness. So in total, what it means is that like in normal medicine nowadays, we're seeing a bunch of symptoms and might cause others and leading into others. For meridian points and murmur points and verma points, there is no symptoms. And you don't need to be scared of like the side effects or just like having long-term anything else. Therefore, at the end, the main goal is to prevent diseases, and it does do that. And I would like to leave you guys with just something quite funny. So think about a rabbit for a second, or just any animal. A rabbit eats a carrot, and sometimes they don't eat carrots. And any particular animal, have you ever seen them wearing glasses? Well, they don't need to wear glasses. And why do we need to wear glasses then, if they don't need to wear glasses? Well, this is mainly because, number one, they are with nature, and number two, they don't use electronics. And I think we might be able to take something from this, is that like we could avoid excessive use of electronics and start being more one with nature to understand what's truly happening to us and what's happening around us, and utilize meridian points when it's truly necessary, and it is necessary. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you. Yeah. Questions, please. Any questions? Any comments? All right, hold on. I'm just muted. Sorry. Okay. Okay, you can unmute if you want to have a question.
Shri, this is Ashwini. Good job.
Thank you.
Yes. So my question is, when you gathered the data from all these people, were you able to also get some information about their lifestyle as to, how many hours did they, what kind of job they had, anything like that?
So one of the person that I talked to said that he was truly benefiting from the exercise. For instance, when he started, it was not that big of a power, but it went immensely down when he started practicing for 3 weeks or a month or so, and then afterwards he couldn't do so because I don't think he was able to put in time or anything. And then now it's been 3 to 4 months, and then his eyesight went back. I think one of the persons said that. And his job was as a software engineer, and yeah.
Right.
Was that
Good.
helpful?
Yeah. When we present a research, one is, of course, we look at what we want as the end point, but it is also always good to look at the confounding variables, right? So
Yeah.
it's good to know if a child who did not, or any adult who did not improve, is that because in spite of the exercises, was that too much electronic activity, which is inevitable for their job? Those
You
things
also
can
do
make
that, but it also depends on how well you do the exercise. It's as you can see, there was one person with a -5, and he went to a 0 immediately. So it does not matter if you have too much or too less. You just have to do it really well and constantly.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Sri, for the wonderful presentation. So when you say we have to do it well, you're talking about the consistency, right? In doing the exercises?
Kind of like consistency, but that doesn't mean you could just do it every day and just do it really fast and just get over with it. You have to do it with care and make sure that you do everything properly with thought put into it.
Okay, thank you so much, Sri. The presentation was wonderful. My kids are also listening. Yeah.
Hi, Shreenithaa.
Hello.
It was a wonderful explanation. I do practice. I wouldn't say almost daily. I did improve a lot, but when I'm under stress, I kind of grab the glass and put it. So it's by habit, I guess. But I did improve tremendously, even though I'm 65 years old. It's a beautiful explanation you gave. We have to practice every day, as you said, with consciousness. We have to be conscious what we are doing. We have to breathe, sit down comfortably, breathe well, and then do it for sure. It helps. It helped me a lot. And then you were telling the animals and birds don't wear glasses. That's a very funny thing. Yes, I guess I have seen animals go blind, birds go blind. Maybe they have something would have pricked the eye or whatever. We never know what happened. So you may be right. They don't wear glasses, but they do go blind due to the accidents. That's what I would guess. Thank you so much. You did a wonderful.
Thank you, and thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
All right. So I'm going to take this time again, Ashwini here. So since it's a youth seminar, and I'm hoping there's a lot of kids listening to it and parents too. So I just want to pinpoint, I know we have a lot of emphasis on electronic gadgets, which is very true, that, the latest data tells us that by 2030 or 2040, half of the world's population will be myopic. Myopic is nearsightedness, So in East Asian countries, especially Korea and China, 97% of young adults wear glasses. And one of the main reasons they think is not just electronic devices, but also too much close time. So for all you guys who are in high school, preparing for college, and even working on the presentation, anything that's too close, including books and, devices. Yes, those eyes need to exercise. So yes, you need to give breaks when you read your books, and books have the same impact on eyes because you're straining too much. So you need to look far out, have a window, sit by a window, avoid artificial light. So this is my piece of advice. And just for a background, I'm a pediatrician and I see a lot of these issues, and I make it a point to tell, it's so important because especially in our culture, we are appreciated when we are reading books, right? That's how we're all grown up. But one thought for parents is to really make sure the kid gets a break after 30 minutes of near time, as we say, to protect that eyes, okay?
Thank you.
Take one more question. Or comment.
And then press it and take it off, and it'll be completely clean. That's what I want to do. Right.
Okay. All right. So if there's no questions, I have some announcements. So we are.
Quick question, Dr. Chang.
Yeah, please go ahead.
I'm also quite impressed by the presentation. We just wanted to know, how long did it take for you to learn? I mean, we don't seem to practice, even though we are much older when compared to young children. So it's very inspiring to see that you have taken so much interest. So I'm really glad to hear the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, I will, thank you for the presentation, Shadana. It was very impressive. Shadana has been working hard on this project, and they have been selected for 2 conferences to present in a couple of conferences. One is a major event where around 7,000 plus people are showing up. That is taking place in Santa Clara, California. So you can look at www.wellnesspost.org, and she will be presenting there her poster, and many of our students will have a poster session there. So we're looking at at least 15 post presentations. And then they have been selected for another conference in FETNA, is a organization, the Tamil organization that is this time holding. Also, they are collaborating with the Tamil conference, scientific conference in Chicago, and they have given exclusively. They have allocated a space to present the poster session, and so that's in July, the first week of July. So if you happen to participate in this, please encourage and participate in these 2 events. And if you have any kid at this age and you wanted to involve them in ancient science and technology, there are so many projects that if they wanted to do these posters there, they are welcome. We have so many projects. They have to work. We will give you the data, and then you start working on it, and you can further develop on the data and present in various conferences, including Society for Scientific Exploration, and then we have a Harvard conference that we're planning to, and many other journals. So this will be extended into papers. So we are motivating, Siddha-Vetha is motivating young students so that their traditional knowledge, they know a little bit of their traditional knowledge, everyone knows, but not in a scientific realm. Because once you get connected to a DNA, it's very easy. It comes very naturally. The science comes very naturally to our kids. So that's one of our goals. So we have a youth career accelerator program coming up. So we are making it very affordable for everyone. We used to charge, you know, 1200 something, 1299 something in the last few years, 2 years, I think, third year. So right now we are making it because we want many students as possible benefit from this, because our goal is to, you know, give the option to younger generation to avail this opportunity. So we have reduced the cost considerably to $299, just $299, and then we further give them some discounts, so they can, you know, before a certain date, you know, they can shine, and $199 we are giving it, so that they all get trained. So we are looking for students. If you know your neighbor or anybody, they will, you know, if they have kids at an age between say 14, 15 plus to maybe 22, that range, we are teaching them, we're training them on ancient science and technology, 2 weeks, very intensive course, online course, and they can gain vast knowledge in different areas, and we'll make sure they all publish papers in the next 3 to 6 months. And we have a record of this historically. Kids have been publishing for the past few years, at least 3 years, and all these papers are available, you know, in the journal. So we will share that soon in our website also. So make use of this opportunity, and if you have any questions on this, feel free to ask now. Do you have any questions on the Youth Career Accelerator program?
Uncle, when does it start? Like, when does the program start?
Well, I think that is in July 13th, that week, I think. I just have to double check.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the 13th. Yeah, so it'll be July. Let me see. June. Yeah, last 2 weeks of June. So this is last 2 weeks of the June. It's in June.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so if you don't have any questions, we can, you know, please feel free to register our the course on the agriculture is still open, because we had to skip one class because of the vacations last week. So if you really wanted to register for our online home gardening Siddha course, you're welcome, and we can add you to that course. It's a wonderful course. Dr. Thimayya, who is a world-renowned scientist on ancient agriculture, is organizing and delivering the course materials, and guiding us through practical knowledge, you know, taking to the field, and, you know, guiding. At some point you will have some hands-on also. We're also planning to get you hands-on at some point. So please, you know, try to register for this course and support us. And Siddha-Vetha is a non-profit organization. So we wanted to be self-sustainable, and course only can sustain us. So the more people take our courses, we can bring in a lot of other components, such as even we are trying to get some camps away for kids in the summer, little ones. So these are some of the things that we are looking for practically, what we can offer to little kids. Very practical knowledge. It's not about just the Vedanta kind of knowledge that, you know, you talk about some lecture and recitation of any mantras at all. This is beyond that. We are making them very, very practical, scientific, pragmatic experience we're giving them. And I strongly suggest you to support us. It's a non-profit organization, and we all, faculty, all have an agenda, a bigger agenda, but most of us are doing service here. Okay, so I just want to let you know. And thank you all. And thank you, Shadana.
Thank you all for the opportunity.
You're welcome. So we'll see you all next week. Thank you.